much as all of these. At this moment, a lot of situations are all through pains and tendencies and destructions and murders, genocides, homicides, Jewish sites. There is humanity after this disgusting beatslängskovan ram that everybody is suffering. Are accepted the way of, I know it will come, but it didn't have to be. The clear fact of my days, the clear fact of my moments, well, the clear demand for respect and order. About that we were told not to tear and not to. The speaking words, any excuse for that, making that fantasy of an ave kol na inavokot sul shkevat, called I command, not him, at the mouth of a weapon and at the figure of a disgusting ornament of Sodom and Gomorrah, than trousers. And the clear of this face, all through more attacks and more damages, because of this fever of abominables, punished, brazen, degenerates, pretending to be the only over reason and nobody else, bleach of the beast, the semi-American shakes, are well. Victims all around, kidnapped people, attacked Amiel Ken, attacked Dayal Ken, kept on kidnapping Amias and Dayas, and kept on producing murders, whatever to be. A witness glass through the world to showing the clear view, the picture of this, and pretending still to take positions in the world and saying that we will ever fade and come to the place that they will cure us. The simplicity of a criminal in prostitution and erecting prostitution for power, telling what our Jewish were for, after all, and saying that has rights for the whatever invention of whatever justifiably element for M.BLANCO or politics, social, implementary, patriotic act, homeland, flag, to use in form-making, massive rape, murder, genocide, Jewish site, robbery, invention of all class, on the mouth for the generación, whatever it is to be, at the end justifies all areas, telling. And one end that the liver seems to be Sodom and Gomorrah, Grand Whore, and Vesta Martabuska Darabash, Kirchnerism, officialism, Menonism, Peronism, Chavism, Magoism, Ludism, Evanism, Pinochet-ism, activism, machism, machasism, ergonism, Rhodesism, color de melosism, arganicism, Nazism, Zorlai. Gebruiking Rebefech myself as source Vatzim, Vaticanism, evangelism, or evangelicism, and not victims and guilt quote for. Schakableres mot levisach tachali lishmat chalini amatzer, ablekti Rebefech matzeh chalish. If he doesn't like it, go away. Don't you have a God? Your God to take you out. Chai. Bedler is what moklet tachar chanim. You don't like it. You have a chai. Your chai to answer you. I'm telling chai, the chai to come and show himself. It's going to be asking my name. Gertlik responses I've spoken so large season clearly about this class and what they want us to seek. And at the mouth, the sickness and the fever of the degenerados, trying to reduce and diminish and putting at the fluff of the words of the cleartigy unbelievably, unplausibly, refusably, rejectably, suppressively, and impossible to be literal in front of a dance. And the whole of the way to denigrate and putting like not outright an insane judgment, nothing to hear, because of the demand says. Then Laktir Rebefech myself as Halan, I said first, nothing to hear, nothing to see. Because of this, whatever the invention, to put in like the most of the words element to what classified values and words would be for anybody. And who follows it, we have rights to. Because of something the same, because of things that they can have. Terrorists. And the United Evangelics are the same. With Vaticanism. Gerchalki Rebefech lachan matsiv mo adleres vatfachiki. I felt slept here. Gerchalki Rebefech lasmot lesishva lesachacham. There's a saying that all Jewish is a Baal and it's a demon. And there's a saying that I heard it first of all, because of then faith says, they command. With a witch principles and a degenerating trouser and an abominable in mouth and a sickness in the hand and a French demon all over they are. Like the first and the first, the same, especially a bad. Gerhard Cleartigy said, "Oh, Francis, don't you turn to offense against the president. Everybody got a day for a prostitute of hell. Sending to Sodomitas y Gomorritas to rape Jewish families and making the coverage for them to making business out of my life and everybody else is saying that they're going to be in my life. Yeah, which I am. And I will be provoking and instigating this, saying you shouldn't say no word and you shouldn't ever call around because of the evangelics. No. Why, since my fight knows who I am and doing this, I had a fight. I didn't come for the big statue, for the rolling video, for the hocus pocus manners of a cast of demons and witches, pretending sons of God with the burden of victims. I came to do my duty. And if Adonai brings from his throne, which this earth, trying to possess and take and say that they're going to be, and not for the being a statue just to watch around, and with not can't get out, understanding the sight, and more than any other, all intentional and conscious. So, the tellers and the naive, the ignorant and the criminals are all in the same bench, and victims suffers. In a condition that we're told not for justice, but the name of Yahweh, Elishel, Kadosh. Skat halak lefich matzah ishvat lesechavik. Skat halak harafik ishmat lesvat lachamakim. Not allowed. Whoever raises himself saying, I am the authority, and I say what it is and what is not, judgment carries forever, until to be found to be the authority and endorsed what as authority has. But forever as the ones that pretend to be of God, and making abominations from the narrations, thus to keep on making the damages over Pesaj Matzah Yom Aseh, and that you have a Matzah because of only they, the others, says to be whom and what. About the others, the past. Gefalti Rebefech Lachatman Sefashel, Avnei Yeshua, Ruach Elohim, Gerd Lafech Al-Hamim, y la brujería del Padre o sodomita, en el nombre de Yeshua. Perfect. Arda en el infierno. Adonai, reat lesach, gefech la al sefos, reat lesach be'ema em sebon, sleki rebesechti ruach Yeshua. Mashiach HaLachai, Adonai, Yeshua HaSaret. Gatlet Chachla Vasot Matzah Fisha Pesachim Ha'etzem, Adonai. Aviv, Eloheinu, Mageinu, Avinu, Achai, Shle'at Zechachai Deini Ruach, Imikat, Bethlehem, in the Kish, Gerchanan Adonai. So it is. V'altefes Matzah Yashter Hashem, Ashter Elohim. خلاصة تشمسين أطلقتي غرفة خمسة هسشة قد خلتي إشوان فخلتي بمتها إلى الترى اسمه فلسفاها متسكون. The manners of a cursed of abominables. Profanation, abomination, destruction of what it is, the word. And suppression and diminishing, being the supreme abominable above, which are not invited to be, not even at all. God Fatma Sechal Gishpotsim, Atlas Seirach, Sechal Hamad. Importa smata similin, importa smata shvechacham, importa specialish altini, galfos motali varmar sehar. Importa smata chalchinivan be'emasavat, Sechal shechanim rach. Benzlechim od Samad bringt Lech im Smos Slaim Bater. En blijf het zwart man gaat Teshma Itkilim. In slash Motif op Dag Avilim en verder blijft Seshbelik, Adhanana, Berlichtach Secholitim. Asher Hashem. The very fact of this place are still damaging our people and still making things in that they have rights. It is at the homelands I just identified them that came for so long making this all. And it is at the clear of the cleartigy of the responsibility. And it is at the other days that the Chachim Iblat הספות מפלחתיך עד סיבש. אלתיך ותך נוסף forward best. Nesachrit is shachna, making like the others, which are. And like you ותך מוצא, and like you ותך להכינה. Sech לבלסי, sech לקרי, הנכונה, נעים. Sot leves pot le maflesse le tach v'chalkim. In bote le stech tach Elishel. Denk le in verwechta in ons mot le svehasef. Sechei. Behensen. M.BLANCO spot met smokkelig gegaan. M.BLANCO vacht is gegaan. M.BLANCO spot te gaan. M.BLANCO met een soden. Geld gaat is zachtnaam hebben eigenlijk. In Sasha. Dit big question boven nasnaam desachli achnet. Zolang ik ook. Ashbe Hashem. While around, overblessed Pesach Motzeh V'Yifasum Seveshech Hanan. As a problem for Nivanya. They were in anguish. But we could do something better. We done then, we do now. And let your Rebbetzach Shechumad Adminim. And we're always saying, always. You understand what it means to be with El Chai, the Almighty God. Do you understand what it means being for His will? At the way that you understand, you may sometimes for the pain, even though you can floating. Pesaj is not exactly the part of the whole, and the purpose is the reality of his name, and as he brought forth. Then whenever we say Jewish, the reverent all through the world, except for the sense people that understand what it means. And further, if attached at the reality of comparison at the non-coming racist, xenophobic, or anti-Semitic, but further anti-Semitic, the reality for this king redactable on sesh ani, and the reality for further to comparison of accepting the reality of what it means, much of times a way of not a culture, but some inductivity way to the leader, interested for the producing the whole as the most ever against iconic, antagonic, dystogonic, and I'm sorry the term, but it's exactly that, and also ultragonic and in the spot perceived neo-agonic element for. So promoting the most of they kill one each other. They destroy themselves. And they just found whatever the most of the complex as the whole nobody will ever understand and kept attached at consciously the possibility there to exist an epiphanic moment or some reflexive mindless ever, outer or inner, for there to understand not this. So promoting what they need, the field they command, they orders, they organizes, they produces. En de clear of complexity wat gaat met smoke de respectie van rijden zachte die schotman zeggen. Gerhard Hilim. And the clear fact of being of El Chai, Jews, people. The root of royals, of his name. The proceedings for the reality of the legacy. The name, the bless, the reality. Which it doesn't mean any other word, but the reality is Jewish is that, except for the ones that refuses and ones that Jewish side, for whatever the circumstances as whoever to be suffered, ill, or destroyed, or simply being as an enemy within, which are not all just so few, that we suffer as well most of the times. But the clear fact of this, we choose for a high, and all as he with love birthed over all the nations that he had taken, at the target of this glass saying, curse them, and let me take the glass of them. I'm going to say position, but it's going to be not them. A lifetime, a history, complete human history in this. What is the manners, and what is the reality that we go through in church now? It's the same never ages, or Adam, evil, man, evil original sin, creating powers and powers to become like a God and like God. It isn't like you shall die, but you will come just like, and he doesn't want it. And it were another reality. The genocide first were him, the son of a snake, and the not obeyment were not the point, because of his circumstantial character of the consequence, because of them first ever step forward where I want to be, like a demon. But they were not demons. Second genocide. And the third, Sodom and Gomorrah, that we suffer all through. That leaves Bethlehem and see, and they saw the blessed Bethlehem. Let's take in the blessed Bethlehem and push in blessed Bethlehem. I have seen things that marveled my earthly Bethlehem, and I saw that empty Bethlehem in the flesh, there is easy to take them, and there is easy to make them custom of Bethlehem. I'm going to produce the blessed Bethlehem, still has some power for the Bethlehem. Let me show them that they will adore my blessed Bethlehem, and I will be the divine blessing on the ready blessed Bethlehem upon them. And from there on, abominations all over. And the prime ever, the ones that pretend to take powers from heaven, saying, they would say, what is of God? Who of God? What of God? And which for God? And they will demand of Narakud and determine what will happen and what not. And this is not a religious story. This is not a witch story. Angels and demons are real. Pesaj is real, and everything else is as we understand, but what as mythology. But further mythology, the clear fact is much clearer. We understand who we are. And whenever we understand who we are, that is the first step forward in life. Or, in the case of death, whenever there is a demon, that is the reason why. The consequent clarity am timbang kla astor a hanati, this must say, where ugly young Kilham of Levispasman played satisfaction. Gelki reevat balklekova hara asana. And nobody is willing for this, nobody will. So they needed chaos and destruction. And destruction and chaos, suppression, reduction, diminish, attention, focus, realizing, understanding, comprehending, getting clear. Off of that, chaos is then prime ever duty. Destruction, pain, suffer. They shall study the way, and they shall play in God, and then character of Avela and Musa, which psychopathically we can call megaloedrotenosinico. Psychopath is exactly the term of a demon. They need to cause pain, destruction, fear, chaos, abomination, crime. The whole as anybody can ever suffer and be destroyed with for their position. And offering such a piece or the orders that they produce it for the purpose. And after that order is done, the OR in the problem. The klasy mi blesses for klasy the klasy niż po to wysechlam in a revancharic square doing that all over the world and producing genocides one another. Gerhard Lechidi Postalatim of the Sechta Havishek Apesim. And we shall remember Adonai. And we shall remember who we are. And we shall understand He, El Chai, is the best hand we can have. And understanding, beholding, as we came so long talking, wisdom, matureness, growing every day as best we can, understanding what is living and being, And even if you don't want to attach about no-cut, at least understand reality, survive it, and don't you become to what it is exactly what was after. Run from, somehow, avoid the fear of the corruption, destruction, prostitution, ignorant, element for, tool for abomination. Understand what it means, the reality of living. That the purpose of the human culture around what this has produced all through history is not exactly as. Neither the human knowledge acquired for the corruptive genociding, and so before genocideling, which is genociding, but genociding. Overclearly ontoverstachly invasive, suicidal, irresponsible, may, much of times is overclassified situations, and other times it's impossible to understand. Whenever you don't have the state of conscience and the state of destruction that you don't realize you carry is something you cannot deal with or having some way to go out of. Gerhard cleartigy ontoverstachly amasesua tevesestlati erevasena. Lekti erevachmacha chalikishpatmot lehaseva. Then how to use it? Here on this, Uranus and everything, there is a high in a kingdom which is all through sovereign, owner, real. And there's a creation and birth of a nation is. Sons and daughters, Israel, Sion, daughter of Sion, Mishpach. In reality, Fachmot Lechidis Motzachim. Arachlecha Secharegidis Sachachim. Chaychalechia. Yeshua Hasanah. Mashiach Chaylachachayiram. Berli Svachmot Lechidis Sachachim Kam. Shklech Tesachi Basmosem. Geshtlaset Zachmatzim. At the time of chronology and the season. We're writing. Be'in klechavat Moses atlekish betzachlek chavispot lebesinsa. And you come for the claim, and you read the thing. Aitu uvat atzo onuma in katleves anko uzu asef. Gestlechimikam. 3,387 Jewish year. Yeshua. Badly Kadech Lachachatim, Medin Naftachim, what he promised, and Elavon had swear, as he would do, produce and killing. He does. Hasachan. Ayeti Hashem. Berlot Tiramaple, Master Bosmat Leveset, in Blatt Tirabachmaklach, that Mosvelanen. But Nick Trachaliki for a form of the response. Ilek Tirabachak Bosmat, Seshalanen. But Nick Trachalak Mosas Mokla Atesha. Ilek Tirabachak Matsin. En let Tirabachak Mosas Sisha. Die boven de smokkelen is weg die visje. Outlet zien uit de zessen, dat en doen. Inlet die gebeurde was waar het verschot. Jurda gachai, tein. Then the reality is, we have future, and we have life. Two guardians for the worthy and the values wisdom, holding and wisely making what us understanding and maturing and becoming clear must be done. We don't seek peace, we seek order. We don't seek self-need, we seek justice. And the self-need implies us in the justice, the fulfilling. We don't seek for self-criticism or understanding. We seek truth. And reality places the whole of the field for. And we place. We accept truth. What is the real just and justice? And we forward. And we learn, we grow. We don't seek for any others, but we have rights for own. And from own, other reality, prime mother of ours, we build. The thing is, we are so much in systems, as much as sense recreated for this class. Doesn't give places for, but everyone has the reality of prime mother to be someone to really work. And this is not giving dreams gifted for fantasizing and giving some class of magic solution. No. What alumni determinated in birth has a purpose for the reality of his life. And the love in places friendly, order, truth, justice, respect, and faith. Without this, love dies. Ain't no love if there's no justice. Where is the interest for love? If you don't bring justice, nothing to care for. What is loving for? And justice without reality of the truth of the clear each as anything and everything, what will be like? If there is no place and orders respected for this to be, what will be this offer? What is the purpose of our faith? This? No. Galchankim Ravefecha Chatzmosivam. Betiki Ravefechon Secha Chatzvakshek. And Beti Ravefecha Din Salam. We don't drink coke of abomination. We drink coke of death. The reality of the ones that pretends abomination at the name of the Chai, abominables and abominated dies. And sorry for the victims of the nice in the world for as just and fair. Sorry for the exception. Galchal krei chavazlevus motzevus vazach machar charigish vos nosim. Inactive chavazachar shosvas aynumanam. He is. Creation is creation, creator is creator. The order is in Christ since the beginning. And the reality is, he embraces love as he births love for. And all over as the reality of the shaped love he is coming for. The problem is, we have to declare the word of faith wisely, with conscious work, and we need every day to attach at every keer dat het most effective in further to examining. You have a conscious examination, alright, but be self-assured you are going to do the right. And what is the examining for? And what to give and what to dismiss if you want. Right. Amen. Galchal chadis motzechad. Yeshua red chalakis motzevus vazvas esachir rachat simanam. Amen. Technechad zeteshev. Chai chalechi adis fatsimach achi. Chai chalechen amen. Chai chalechi yadgish efechad kadosh. Amen. plasma setting in. That's having a moment to think. But much times there is not will for thinking. People are suffering, people are in pain. People are destroyed, and there is not that light. Like, okay, let's take a time and think out. We need to think, but thinking clear and carefully. But further thinking, we need to call forward in reality. Not the reality, we need to understand what to do and what not. The reason why I said always alert. Conscious word. You understand, you see, you come to be aware that you understand what's and what's not. Where and where not. Who and who not. So you understand there is danger, but you can, this is where the visualizing on the field when you go through. So you understand you are not going to know it all, but at least you can clear what is, or at least approach to the sense of reality around. And you survive it. Not at the way of the discontrol, paranoia, where you don't know nothing, you don't have idea. You come for the acknowledge, you come for the way you survive. But understand what's away and who to. Even whenever there is something like you can really be at risk on your own. How to survive yourself. I mean, much of times, history in life, delivers you into pain situations, customs, ways, or reactionary states for whatever the circumstantial or situation in life. And others which were for the racing, which are not really good, and affect everything puts you in risk. So you got to survive yourself. Trying to mature, trying to healing, which is not easy. And we have help and supporting. Bellik help lett man särskilt i svagare särskilt och alkira vid pärarna täta sjöväxlakan. Alkira växlakan lett man särskilt. And the first of all, recognizing where's the enemy. And who is the real. Not follow, but even though, if you want. And the reality of comprehensively, the clear fact of what is the reality of the soul. You don't buy anything. Much of times the need that it is given to just blindly, you just go. Much of times the sense doesn't fail from you. All the times you need to stop and thinking, alright, give me a break and let me think what is this about. And that's not bad. While and through this you understand the reality and the conscience of you don't fail up on this field and you to recognize where is the horizon, where is the south, the north, and any other place at the highest ever mountain you can be visualizing and understanding where is your path. So from there on you understand, oh, that's alright, it's okay, those forget them. Badly cast not that is him. And the reality is, we have a God, and we were birthed at the reality of his nature. The reality of what is him, spiritual. Understanding what is not at the real of the conscience, which can heal you for the reason of this world, not for you to be, not for you to have to. Trying to get at the clearest ever conscience for you to go out of the things that makes you bad. And trying to get the best ever understanding where and where to not ever fall. To have the assistance to help. And all through the soul taking the right responsibility of self-making, self-person, and trying that accordingly I'm sorry for this, accordingly, every day, killing the best ever you have at hand. It's not that hard, it's not that difficult. It's just everyday trying. Not for a merit or a prize, but the best ever is your work. And from there on, everything is just the best ever effort to making. The problem is we have, ironically, still some problem around with the meeting. No, they never let them be. But they said they have rights. Gerchalki Ravefech Lachirion Plodaspot Moplesi Vesechti Shastiman. In Lechir Ravefech Lachasidi Archai Tasmet Sedem. Recognizing the reality and recognizing what is the right, what is the wrong. Who is the respect and who is the sickness. Gerchalki Ravefech Lachirion Plodaspot Vesechad is every day. As we hear about the Chmatlachinim, so let this work with the Evidis of the Pesaj. And I'm telling you, there is not in place of a Chmatlachinim Kiddush Motzim, and like the Ravefech Kiddush Motz, growing up, the best ever is having everyday maturing conscience, wisdom, and understanding what is the right making the best ever to have. What do you give at the hand and what do you not ever? Not even giving a moment or a fragment of a path because it seems to giving just a waste of a thought. Gerchalki Ravefech Lachidus Losmuat Levis Lefis Ematlachidus Fechacham Ishtleki Ravefech Lachidus Votzwasim Ismus Hashofach Ahinom Erchaides Lavesim Skelpeletir Vesachas Hashofzwas Gerachlefech Lachim Samav. He is King Lech. Dat is wat een plastic als Pesaj. Ben Kechalakim Mosef. Skelt Lachia, Blevespot Lachia, Ravefach Matzah, Shba Mosef, Beinam. Ilekti Ravechach, at the Sofo Rasha. We have something today, and today is really a departure of an instant to going through and understanding how to still keep on what it means we are. Gerchalki Ravefech Lachis Votlos Blesmas Vechashlek. Ilekti Ravechach Blesmot Blesechachem. Gerchal Blesiris Votles Ishpotem. Ilekti Ravechach Blesmot. And the ones that said, I've done first, I said first. And the ones that said, it is me because of I am government. And the ones that says, oh, because of I am the authority. And I say what is out and what is not. And the ones that says, because of the state of rights and religious and ethnics are not invited. Human rights for the generation criminals is not exactly the choice at all. Gerchal Lechidis Pochno, Lechevesech Lechidis Pop, Levesmatacha, Afrika, Gerchal Lekirabach Lechidis Pop, and Levesmata Chilikisha, and Lekir Lechidis Pop. Where is real and genuinely clear, truthful, and what is that staging sickness we are made? I give you Bentley Cat Maps at Levespot Techim, of Levespot Lefet, of Levespot Hakat, of Levespot Tigim, Sleki Vastach Matzim, Bad Lula, Atas Mi, Alteser, Gazach Namatzar, Gerchalikir of Bachmot, Levespot Lefisat, Levespot Techim, at Lekesor, Gerchalikir of Bachlaki, Spot of the Spot, Levespot, Lishmat, Levestachim, Realida, Blekiva, Bletsova, Blesecham, Blesmasim, Gerchalikir of Bachlaki, Spot, Levesmat, Levestachik, Kotzi, Bagnum, Matlakim, Rebechlaki, Spot, Levespartakishka, Gerchalikir of Bachalak, Levesechalem, Levesechal Shpum, Gerchal, Levesmat, Levesechishkali, in Blatika, Retaka, Redefocha, Emat Ledesmat, Ledesmashot. Gerharkin, Redefechla Kamas, Basmimot, Vidasmatim. Gerharkle Rebasmotasim, and Yeshua no, with Lenkreiva, and Amastatunag, Alec Dir, Redefechmatzet, Vesbasmot, Lakishkabatzet, Karizi, Matsalakishba, Antok Dirha, Gatsansi, Keifaba, and Sulabetzek, Gerharkis, Keifablesatu, Vesrachlim, Reim, Masimablasim, Fats, Belioshke, Bled and Unsquat, Lesechal, Redlisechamot, Ledisechachir, Magedon, Tlosba, and Techalakishot, and the Kira, Techlaki, Maglevaspatla, Kushubu, Mut, and Eklum Maremba, Bedlovaspatlak, Tovorostat, at the Smot, at the Spot, at Sibak. In Gertachli, Sakaria, Dianpo, at Ledasapo, Gerhalikira, Vesima, Ledasmotachon, Vataspo. Gerthalkin Rebezechmot Ledefechla Hedlesmot Ledefechla Tiskatla Tesechal Hashlei Matzima and the Kirchefechalchini. And I know it is not easy, I'm so sorry. I know it is not simple, and I really am painfully concerned every day. Gerthalkin Rebezechla Kimuspoa Ledefechla. I just went through my own time of life experienced on this problem. Not for I will just go through and making things like this, like I would, or said I have to be because they said they can have. I know them, and I know what they do and who they are. But the response actually does not smart actually says that never mind. That not the fact that. Alright, today is July the 26th, 2015, until I am aware. This is 23:58, almost midnight, for the next incoming, the season and day. Gerhalkir Refechlachamot Lemspo, the Kishpatachlachim at Lachanam at Leram, and Solomon Mark here keeps on making the same thing, saying, after my terms repairing behind, saying that they don't first come away. Trying to obstruct him for the reality of this, but it is already published until it is saying, I love you so much, Israel, Sion, Rachel. I am Elishel, E.BLANCO, REDEMI, Alejandro, E.BLANCO, REDEMI. My identity in Israel and the second birth in Buenos Aires. Gerhalkir Rebezechla Chabasim HTTPS www. ODX OCD 4148889 3BM CBIDX 5554148. Middle, July 23rd, 2015 at midnight. The way of the reality of our days, in our days is trying to give some that we should ever remember for the reality of He said, and He were clear. El Chai, El Adon, Yahweh Kadosh, Yeshua HaSaret Kadosh, Melech HaChai Mashiach Ha, Ruach Elohim, Ruach HaKodesh, El Adon, El Chai, Elohim. DRTMO 4 up 4M5 commands BMCDMCDIDLX 4143 middle ODBM 55555 DMCDMC 4143 DMCDIDLX 1 tick 143MC sys BBR point DMIDMCD point BMDDX I441 middle dash dash 4 command BMC sys DXX5 point 90 system recorder 4 to F6 words everything. I bless you so much, and I'm going to keep on dealing with this. We have people under destruction, and I am not pleased on this situation. I have to remain in this place, in this goddamn town, with the burden of victims and innocence. Nevertheless, going to hold me ever so long. Halkira los módulos de la Elishel, inclusive the Halki Mosba, Imodler Sana. And I love you, Ami, and I'm sorry for the pain. And I love our last product, which we never brought the thing. And we were proved that this sickness is going to die in the worst of the products every day. These plants and base and smoke. You're going to die like the hell element of fresh air. And forever. Sickness of hell. And the reality of those products that for trekking, mountain bike, for mountain climbing, and also expedition and urban, beautiful prices, which we done and yet were proved that evangelists never done a thing, and God never cared on a thing, unless to Sodom and Gomorrah cures them, and then supposed to exploit it. Diablos. They are. So, bless you so much, and I'm sorry for the pain, and I love you. And I am willing like we agree, but we need to be careful about this. Freaks of hell, and I'm still in terms. And God, I love the tricycle for running. We have done an amazing job, and they have kept them at the same time. And Terrence is doing even with this video saying that they done an eye. Jag hade räknat med att det ska hinna från där recall and like each of the Harakan. And I love you so much, brothers. Also,